I want to try something new. It's something I've kind of done a little bit before, but I want to spend more time. I guess I've been listening to a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk, so this comes up with that. But for kind of self, now I can't even talk. But for selfish reasons, I would like to document more of what goes on in my everyday life. So when I look back at these videos, I can get more of my thoughts not just about lifting, but about anything that I am thinking or talking about. So we'll go ahead and go about some of the stuff that I'm doing today, and then I'll just talk about some stuff that I've been thinking about. So probably won't get into too much of the nitty gritty. Maybe, who knows? We'll see how these goes. But I'll go over the first thing that I'm doing, which is of course coffee. It's a caffeine. If I spill coffee, caffeine and kilos cup that Justin has. Um, I'm enjoying it because he doesn't drink much coffee now, so I do. Super eventful morning. I am doing some laundry, which I think it's done, so I'll be able to flip that in a second. But over here I got the beautiful mattresses that are Kenny's that he's storing here because I have the office area. So I have that going on for me. Still, I absolutely love the office. I will be using this a ton, or I have been using it. So I will be continuing to use it an absolute ton. I don't know how many of you all are on Instagram and whatnot. It's not really important that you follow any of my stuff in particular for what I'm talking about now. But if you are curious to see the specifics of what I'm talking about, just go on and look for weightlifting memes. Pages like Penn Glenley, Weightlifting Please, Sonny, Dankel. There's a whole bunch of them. Once you find one, you'll be able to find them all. But something interesting that they were doing a while ago when the new Olympic weightlifting classes were introduced was they were talking about Manny Rogers and how she was either going to move up to the heavier weight class or move down, because one of the things that happened is that it went from 64 kilograms to 76 for the Olympic classes. And I won't get into the nitty gritty of the weight classes, but essentially there was a lot of memes saying whether Maddie has become thicker or become more like a stick. And she got very upset about that. And her boyfriend started just getting mad about the memes and trying to combat them and not really understanding how a meme or a troll or whatever you want to call it, how that all works. When you feed them, when you give them material, they will make that material and propagate that material and allow us to have more stuff to laugh at. So she started doing that, but there's another weightlifter named Kate Vibert that is also in that same boat where she either has to go up or go down because she was a 69 kilogram lifter, and now that's not a weight class. So either 64 or to 76, I think, is the jump that they have. And she isn't as good as Maddie Rogers right now. She's a little bit younger, but she's lifting really well and she has a lot of potential. And so people started making jokes, these meme accounts and people in general, about how Kate Vibert was eventually going to pass up Maddie Cates. And it was the joke because Maddie Cates, and I say Maddie Cates because that's like her Instagram name, but Maddie Rogers, the reason they were making those jokes is because Maddie Rogers is better than Kate Vibert right now, but Kate Vibert has potential. So, I mean, it was literally just a joke. And Maddie Rogers got so annoyed by the memes about her gaining weight or losing weight, by the Kate Vibert memes, that she actually went and banned Kate Vibert. Now, I'm sure she banned all these meme accounts and whatnot. That wouldn't surprise me in the least. But banning Katie, or Kate Vibert, is so funny to me because when you look at, I mean, you can look at her page. It's one of the least controversial pages in the world. All that she does is talk about her lifting and a little bit about her life. There's no memes. She doesn't call out people. All she does is talk about, this is what I'm doing today. And it's just workouts and some stuff about her life. And it isn't anything that would make me want to be like, wow, she's actually like going right at Maddie Cates. No, she's just like a normal person, and pretty radically so. But then she posted that she got blocked by Maddie Rogers and how she can't get block her in real life. And I find that I find it absolutely hilarious that someone could get so offended by memes that they block a person that didn't create the memes, that didn't. I mean, I don't know if she reposted any of the memes. Maybe she did, but like, to me, if you are getting trolled or you're getting memes made about you, the best thing that you can do in the world is just simply to ignore them or to acknowledge them and say that they're funny. One of the two routes. If you don't think they're funny, then ignore them, because eventually a meme dies. And that's the funny thing is most memes die after like a week and they become unfunny. Very few of the memes or the meme structures or whatever last more than a week. And to spend your time getting offended by them is really such a waste of time, because in another week there's going to be a new meme. If you get offended by a meme, that becomes a meme. So then people have a new meme that will last another week. So you're just like making this self fulfilling circle of memes. I've said it like 10,000 times, memes, memes, memes. But when you're getting offended by them, you're just creating more of them, and it's creating more of a problem. So the best thing you do is just ignore them if you don't like them. The absolute best thing you can do is to acknowledge them, that they're funny, because they are funny, and that they weren't even and that's what's the craziest part is, like, all the memes talking about her gaining weight and losing weight weren't even making fun of her. They were just like, are you gonna become thick or are you gonna become stick? And it was like, it was just a meme. But apparently some people get really offended by that stuff, her in particular. So I mean, for me personally, I just don't think she's very mature in that regard. And maybe there's more to it, and there's been people like going at her and doing stuff like that, and there's a context I don't understand. But just from looking at the whole situation, from how I see it, it just seems like a very immature thing. But I've been laughing about that for a little bit, so I figured I would talk about this in one of these things, because it's one of those weird things. Memes are just weird, and I love them, but it's such a weird thing to think about, because it's all just pictures and text and stuff, and they propagate very easily. But yeah. Suppose while I'm here, sitting on my couch enjoying some coffee, I can give you some context about what I'm doing today, kind of in general, but also just mostly in the gym, because that's really the most exciting thing that I have going on today. So I won't be going into my classroom today. I went there yesterday to get some work done, and I essentially spent time organizing IEP data. So for different students have different goals and different due dates and all of that stuff. I got into a nice Google Sheet, so then I'm able to see the due dates. I'm able to see what areas they have goals in, the minutes for those goals. So it just allows me to have a quick reference for all the information that I need. I would normally have to click through each IEP and stuff for, so it will help with scheduling, help me remind me of due dates and stuff like that. So it's a nice reference, and I did it last year. I didn't do it my first year of teaching, or if I did, I didn't do it at the beginning of the year. But then my second year I did it, and I went a little too much in depth with adding like the specifics of what the text of their goals said and stuff like that I didn't actually use. But having the due dates, the for the IEP and the ETRs, having the minutes for each goal, the goal areas, those are very useful to have, and just kind of having a roster for myself. So the next step for me for school stuff is to get all the data folders. So we have the paper copies of all the IEPs and old forms of data and stuff that are in these giant folders that we have to get and store for the whole year. We're supposed to put some data in them. The nice thing with technology is that a lot of that data is starting to be on the computers, so there's less of the paperwork aspect of it. And the more that I'm able to put on the computer, then it just makes organization easier, because I'm not printing out a bunch of stuff. But I have to pick those up, and I'll probably go tomorrow, but it's not entirely urgent if I can get them tomorrow. I probably still will, though, and start putting them in. I'm starting the year with 11 students, or 12 students, and I'll have mostly fifth graders and then a couple sixth graders. So I think it's like 8 and 4 is the breakdown of that, 8 fifth and then 4 sixth. I'll probably get more as the year goes on. I can have as many as 16, I believe, is what I had at the end of the year. That's the max caseload, so I could get 4 additional students with that. Pretty happy. Based on who I have on my roster, I actually know a lot of the students, which is really nice. I have seen them and interacted with them at some point. Almost every, if not every single student, then darn near every single one of them. I at least recognize all of them. But I'm pretty sure I've had some sort of, I don't know. I've talked to, I think, just about all of them. But I do have a couple that are repeating from the previous year, which is nice. And I don't know. I'm just kind of excited for this school year, because I feel like I have a better handle of what I'm doing, and I've gotten a better start as far as my preparations and knowing how I want to attack different things. There's still a lot of work I want to do with as far as developing progressions for different things that I want to do, but that's less that I want to talk about at this part in particular, because I'm talking about my day, and I'm on a ramble about school.
I'm going to go lift later today. Today will be the last day where I do any sort of weight on the snatch or clean and jerk. I think I'm gonna go. I think it's like 165 for the snatch and like 235 for the clean and jerk, just to go at like it's like 60%, just to go there, move the weight, move it efficiently, move it well, and go through the go through the range of motions that I'll need for the competition on Sunday. When I go in or lift in my shed Friday and Saturday, I'll just be doing bar work, so I won't be doing any, excuse me, I won't be doing any bar or any weight on the bar. I'll just be moving the bar around to just work on mobility, essentially, because that's really the best mobility work you can do, is to put or just to work with the bar and go through the ranges of motions that you go through normally. So today will be a good day. It shouldn't be very difficult at all because I can very easily do the weights that I have to do. We'll just be trying to stay fresh and doing all that stuff. That is really the big highlight of the day. I just have other routine stuff to do, like laundry, like I showed you before. There's nothing really. It's just kind of a relaxing day, which is really nice. Tomorrow will be more busy. I may hang out with some people or a person. I may, well, I will be doing the bar work. I'll be going to school for a couple hours. Tomorrow at school will be a lot of that progression. I'll get the data folders up there and then trying to figure out how I want to approach each student, because now what I did as well is I organized, or at least I went through their data and I found what reading levels and math levels they were at generally, to get an idea of, for each student, what their STAR, which is their progress monitoring for comprehension and for math. And then I looked at their fluency scores and kind of just to get a general idea of, where students are, and kind of give me a benchmark of where to start and to where to grow them from. So I kind of have that, and then I guess I could look through the IEPs more and figure out where I want to target their instruction at the beginning of the year, because that's something I want to do better, is not just throw all the same stuff at every student and then make adjustments based off that, but start the year off like, this is what your data says, I'm going to approach it this way, and then obviously make adjustments from there, but be more specific as I can at the beginning of the year, and not just do work, but do beneficial work, or as beneficial work as I can possibly do. But I've rambled on long enough, so I'm going to drink some coffee, enjoy the rest of my morning and early afternoon, and then head off to the gym. So you'll see some of the clips from that, and this will probably be a very long vlog because this is a 6-minute clip, and the last clip was pretty long. So hopefully you enjoy this kind of thing, of me talking about my thoughts more. If not, feel free to click through it at your own leisure. I don't know if I'll put like chapters or like time stamps of different things I talk about. Perhaps I could. If that's something of interest, and if you are at this part, and then let me know. I could potentially do that. It just makes it to where I have to edit more. But I'll talk to you all in the next clip.
All right, so I'm back from the gym, and it was a pretty simple, straightforward workout. The lifts felt pretty good. I'm a little bit sore from front squatting yesterday, but 2 days off tomorrow and Saturday. I should be really good to go for Sunday. I'll be doing bar work and stuff tomorrow and Saturday, so that'll be the only type of workout that I do. It'll just be mostly focused on the mobility aspect of those movements to get looser and to go through the motions, so I'm able to think about the snatches and the jerks, because like cleans are easy for me, but to think about the more technical aspects of the movements and to work on all of that. So that'll be in my next 2 days, and yeah, that being said, I think I'm gonna wrap up this video here. So hopefully you enjoyed this little bit of a different style, and if you do, then I can keep doing them. I know my last vlog got some positive feedback, so I'm trying to build upon that and make more videos like this. But hopefully you all have a great day. Talk to you all in the next one. Peace.